if we don't learn to relate to one another in the world, we will be failed societies. The children in Roots of Empathy understand that those who live beyond the mountains and across the oceans may speak different languages, may look different, may eat different foods, listen to different music, but we all share the same feelings. And that is the core of our humanity. So to have little children appreciate that in the world we're all the same, whether we have autism, whether we have a speech and language disorder, whether we're tall, short, wide, narrow, however our packaging comes, that inside we share the same heartbeat. Inside our feelings define us, not our qualifications. On our deathbed, we're not talking about our academic success. We're talking about our success as human beings in being able to love fiercely, being able to forgive generously, being able to find one another in the craziness of the lives we lived. So, pretty remarkable that little children had the sense of this. The meaningful engagement of families in education. Every family is the child's first teacher and most powerful teacher. I would say indelible teacher. Love forms us. But to have a family come in and to have a little tiny baby called a teacher is to make very real the connection between family and school, to give children wonderful confidence. We see the children as changers. And it's interesting, in Ashoka, we talk about change making, and we have always spoken of change making. And with Roots of Empathy, going back those 17 years, we see each child quietly as a change maker in their own lives. And that's all we can ask of any of us, that in our own relationships, we do what we can to understand and to help others. This is actually a Roots of Empathy father, not a mother. In this particular area, the mother came to the first 5 classes and the father finished because the mother went back to work. Wonderful example of male nurturance. But the point here is that when children are not able to manage their feelings, to regulate their feelings, there's no thinking happening. The brain is flooded with emotion, stress levels go up, and learning doesn't happen. And this is not just soft science, this is neuroscience. This is significant white jacket scientific discussion here. It's not about soft pink emotion. It's about what is the pathway to learning. And with little children, we know that the development of emotion and cognition are so intertwined that it is impossible to separate them. And one way of explaining it to children is that when you're sad, sick, or lonely, it's hard to learn. And children do understand that. Not only do they understand it, they are able to read the feelings of their friends so well that they will even come to the teacher and say, "My friend Susie is sad today," because they know that Susie needs social support, emotional support, to be able to take advantage of the education that is provided. It is a tragedy that there are children who refuse to come to school because of the pressures on them, because it's too painful. And the scar left by emotional pain, whether it's through bullying or exclusion or whatever, those scars are harder to heal than physical scars. So children need our protection. They need to be growing in safe, supportive learning environments. And these kinds of environments cannot be legislated by teachers. It's wonderful to have the expectation that children should be kind to one another, but you can't order it. But the lovely thing that we find with little children is that they do become kind to one another, more cooperative and more caring, more supportive, so that school attendance rates increase, because school is a happy place to be. People don't embarrass you. You're not you're not made fun of, because the children will challenge it. This idea of having well-regulated emotions, it's really interesting to see how many things fall apart when children are not able to regulate their emotions. Basically, their good judgment, their ability to pay attention, decision-making, problem-solving. All the higher executive functioning skills fall apart when children are not able to control themselves. And we're currently doing some brain research out of the University of Washington, where they are studying with the state-of-the-art new techniques and machinery the structure of children's brains who have had roots of empathy compared to the structure of children who have not had roots of empathy, and also the functioning of the brains of children who have had roots of empathy. So when they look at the functioning of the brain, really what they're looking at is the child's ability to regulate their emotions. And that is something that hasn't really been looked at before, certainly not in academic settings, not in regular school settings, because we haven't asked those questions. We've only been measuring what we treasure, which is math scores, literacy, science. Well, I can promise you, the developmental health and wealth of a nation depends on what is happening with our children. And if our children are only scoring academically, but failing as people, failing to develop the whole person, failing to learn how to manage their own emotions, how to connect to other people, how to build a happy, productive life, how to be a full citizen. So it's a very important score we're looking for. We won't know until 2014, but they're carrying out the traditional behavioral studies as well with the same children, so that they compare the children who do well on the behavioral measures. Are these the children who exhibit the superior areas of the brain where empathy is located in the tests? Or are these the children who demonstrate very good emotional regulation?